Yeah, I that makes me think about, recently in New York, so many fast food workers, for instance. I mean, first of all, that's becoming more of a primary job instead of just a job that you work through college on or something.
Right.
So I'm thinking about that type of industry and the workers, rallying for a better wage. What's your thought on that sort of wave across the country that's been happening?
I think it's going to be more and more part of the discussion, and there's some drivers for that. I think the first is that, as you said, jobs that are paid as though you're a teenager working after high school are now supporting whole families.
Yes.
Many of them single parent families,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think that that's a sea change. I think the second thing is that when you look at our economy and you look at where the growth is, an awful lot of the growth is in things like healthcare, fast food, those kinds of industries which traditionally have paid very badly. And I think the third thing is that we're now starting to see, I think, some pushback from trends that have been accumulating for some time. So the decline in unions, the decline in manufacturing jobs, which traditionally were better paid than these service jobs, the kind of globalization. And one really interesting victory that has happened is in Los Angeles, or a suburb of Los Angeles, where there's an organization whose name escapes me for the minute. But what they did was really smart. They said, we want to raise the wages of workers in hotels. Cleaners, people that do the gardening and the maintenance and all that stuff. And they campaigned the local legislature. So this wasn't like a national thing. They campaigned the local legislature, the local city council, to raise a standard wage for people working in the hospitality industry. But one of the things they did that was super smart was they wrote notes to each of these public representatives. And they said, here's the number of people who live in your district who would be affected by this law, and here is the net income benefit to your district
Oh,
for
wow.
raising this wage. And they passed it. It passed. Now, what I thought was interesting was it was a couple of dimensions. Firstly, they didn't try to boil the ocean. They were very specific about which sector they focused on, and they were very direct in terms of pulling every political lever that they could to get this to happen. And I think we're only going to start to see more of this because it's too pervasive an issue not to get more traction. And I think rising income inequality adds to the whole discussion.